This is the report of the on this whole family research thing that I've done.
Oh my.
And this is the A family where we're related, you and I.
Mm-hmm.
And the tree looks like this.
Oh.
I sent you a tree like this.
I think you had a little small.
This one is grown quite a bit, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So this is your great-grandfather, Trued,
Mm-hmm.
and Karna is your great-grandmother. And then that's Trued's father, Abraham, and his wife, Ingar.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's Abraham's parents here.
Oh yeah.
So it goes as far as back as your great-great-great-grandfather. That's as far as back as we go.
Oh yeah.
There's Oka
Where's
Truedson.
Grandpa Truedson?
There.
Oh yeah, there he is.
So these are the children of Trued and Karna here.
Uh-huh.
There's 1, 2, 3 daughters, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 sons, and another daughter.
Oh yeah, Anna's the one that was lost.
Right, lost one for a while. And then the oldest one, Johanna, she stayed down in southern Sweden, and she had one son who had descendants, so this family is mainly around Malmo in southernmost Sweden.
Oh.
And this daughter, Bengta, is the one that I went down and found these pictures that I sent you copies of at descendants of hers. And so she had quite a lot of descendants here, and but mostly all around the same part of Sweden that they came from. She's the only one that stayed right in the same area.
Well.
And her youngest daughter moved over to Copenhagen when she was 17, so she lived over there.
Mm.
And the third daughter, Elna, is moved up around Gothenburg on the west coast of Sweden.
Oh.
And her one son had children, and one of those daughters has lived in Elmhurst, Illinois, for many years.
Oh, really?
And the other one is still in Sweden. Now we've lived right close to her and never known that she was there either. This lady.
Mm-hmm.
The oldest son died when he was 17, and I don't know of what, but probably an accident or something. And then the oldest surviving son, Anders, moved way up to northern Sweden, and that's where most of his descendants are up there and around Stockholm.
Hmm.
And then there's our great-grandfather, John, who also moved away. All the three of these sons and the daughter moved pretty far away from the general area where the family was from. John was working on a railroad project, first out towards Norway, and that's where he met our great-grandmother, Christina, in Värmland, which is the most western province there.
Mm.
And then he was working on a project up towards the north, and that's where he settled in Borlänge then, and had all his children there.
And they all surrounded him.
Yeah. Now some of them emigrated too. This is my great uncle John here, who has a daughter now living in California, and who was buried right here in Fort Collins, Colorado. He was in Colorado quite a bit, yeah. And he
Have
came
you
over.
contacted them?
Yeah, we've known them before, since they're a little
have you?
closer to us, being my father's uncle and all.
Oh yeah.
So we've stayed with her out in California a few times, and his widow he married the second time a younger woman than he was, and so she's still living out there in California too.
Will you be going?
Be going to see them, I hope. Yeah, I've alerted her, and she said, well, of course, we only have one day that Anders is there tomorrow, so we'll hope that we can do it then.
Yeah.
See her. And then there's my grandfather's brothers and sisters, and his sister that had children, two of them also emigrated. So my father had these two cousins that lived here on that branch. Then my father's other uncle, Erland, was out here, and we know that he met some Truedsons in Omaha around 1915. Then he went back east and lived in New Jersey, so there's descendants of his living there. And then this is our grandfather, Jacob, here.
Mm-hmm.
Now I told you that we found a picture of him in Lyle Truedson's old album that Pete had, I guess, once upon a time.
No, I don't
We found a
remember
picture.
that.
We found a picture of our just the day before yesterday. There's a picture of our grandfather Jacob right in that album at age 15, one of these little
What do you
portraits.
know?
And also a picture of our great grandfather was in there, and that's a picture that we've never seen before.
Well. Huh.
So this, in other words, is our grandfather. This is Anders' mother here. That's Anders, and that's his two kids, Peter and Karen. This is my father, Eric, and that's my brother and me. So everybody's on here in little twigs and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's the youngest daughter who didn't have any children. And then we come down to your grandfather here. Now all the boys from the beginning were called Truedson.
Oh.
And all the girls
Trued.
Truedson, yeah. And all the girls were called Trued's daughter. That's the names they had in the beginning.
Truedson.
Truedson and Trued's daughter. Yeah, that was the name system they had in those days.
Isn't that fascinating?
So right around the time of 1870, 1880, it became fashionable to try to acquire your own family name instead of continuing that son and daughter tradition. So the oldest brother just somehow acquired the name Cedaredge and took that as a family name.
Philander?
Cedaredge, yeah.
Oh, Cylinder.
Yeah. And then our great-grandfather acquired the name of Ritterstedt from his boss that he was working for, who was the last of the old Ritterstedts.
Oh.
And so they were actually Anders Truedson, John Truedson, and Nils Truedson in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then when
This one was
Ritterstedt, that's the name he acquired from
And his Ander.
Cedaredge.
Cylinder.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Cylinder and
And then when he got off the boat and said in his southern Swedish accent, and what's your name? And he said Nils Truedson. You know, they just kind of thought he said Truedson and spelled it that way, and that's how it ended up being. Now Stanley had the theory that he may have picked up the UH in Germany already, which is
well, it became a very, very definitely a name. Like that, certainly.
So, and then of course the youngest Anna. But anyway, here's your mother and your aunt and uncles and all theirs. So here you are, right there.
Yeah.
There's Betty. And I have one too little here we noticed yesterday when I was showing it to Don. There should be 6 branches there then. And your 2 great-grandchildren out there.
Uh-huh.
And then there's the rest of the Jensen family there.
Uh-huh.
And so here's Elmer and Clifford and the Peters children there. And then there's
Now this Anna,
that's your mother, yeah.
my mother?
Yeah.
Oh, you're using her married name.
Yeah, we put the married name in then on the ladies. And
Oh, yeah, Lena Sarah,
right,
that's right.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And so there's Harry and Helen, and there's Henry with Stanley and Marion and Jody there.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So.
And Stanley has several children.
Yeah, he has 3 children and 2 grandchildren so far. So.
Does Jody have any? Did Jody have any children?
She has 3 children. Yeah, 2 daughters and a son.
Oh.
And we've met so far the one daughter who came up to Blair from Omaha for that reunion.
You said that she had.
And the son was in Chicago. Jody met us in Chicago. So we were in there with her in downtown for a whole evening together.
Well, yeah, you sort of went over some of that.
Yeah, I had fun with her. So.
Well, I'm going to get in closer touch with her. We wrote a couple times at Christmas time, I think, or some holiday anyway, and then we haven't continued that, and yet I've wanted to. I was hoping she'd get in touch with my little Ann Wardell, who is my youngest sister's daughter. My youngest sister died when she was 54, I guess, when Ann was 11, I think. So then Ann became almost like my own, and in addition to my own family, and so that has been enlarging. But I was kind of hoping that we'd add Jody. Well, Ann was up close to her there, but Ann has moved to California now. So I don't know whether that'll happen yet or not.
Well, she's a very nice lady. She's
I'm sure.
She's a colleague of yours in the painting too. She's very, very good.
Painting?
Yeah, very
She
showed me a couple things, and she said that she would. I have some pictures of Trued's old barn that I'll show you. She said she was going to see if she could make a painting of that, you know. And,
Interesting. Well, I have not contributed much except pictures of the area out here that we've enjoyed so much,
Yeah.
that my husband was taking pictures of all the time. So I keep him wanting to enlarge those
Yeah.
and get closer to the scene of all of what's going on.
Oh, I saw one of the good ones here. You did.
Well, that's interesting.
Then we had the Anna here with, and we found her children now, all of them. Lena Richter, does that name ring a bell with you?
Who?
Lena Richter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's your mother's cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she had 11 kids.
Uh-huh.
So we're
I
just not
remember she
starting-
had a lot of children.
Yeah. We're just not
Yeah.
starting to trace them up here, you know.
I've lost track of exactly the direct descendants there, but
There's
I
a
remember-
Gladys.
I remember her.
There's a Gladys or a Snooks.
Yeah.
Snooks Elston. She married an Indian years ago
Oh,
and is
that-
living in La Mesa. We hope to visit her tomorrow.
Oh,
She's
how-
93.
Well, she died in where?
She's 93 now.
Oh, she's 93.
Yeah, she's living in La Mesa, California.
Well,
And the little brother, Henry Richter, Little Henry they called him,
uh-huh.
he's in Rapid City, South Dakota.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, and I talked to him and we've written a little bit, as quick as we could because I just discovered them before I left.
Well,
With your help identifying that picture, and then Jody Johns got on it and got very efficient here to find some of these people.
well,
So Anders and I just had a little visit yesterday with Edith. There was one of them was called Todd. You remember a girl was called
yeah,
Todd?
I remember
Todd's
that.
daughter Edith we saw yesterday in Omaha.
That's Lena Richter's
Daughter, right.
Yeah,
That's your
I
second
kinda
cousin.
remember that.
Your second cousin, Todd. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I remember those.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't, there's not a real living feeling or print
No.
like there was some of the rest of the family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like we developed with the Jensens when we were all living so close
Yeah.
in a heap.
Mhm.
There in Washington
Yeah.
County.
Yeah.
Just like we were almost on top of each other, we
Mhm.
were so close. But there were definite, plantings around, and we think of this area being Uncle Andrew's area, and this one
Mhm.
Uncle Henry's, and this one Uncle Ed and Uncle Bert's,
Mhm.
and this one Mills and Swingard's, and my dad and the Swingard's, which is Emma, and then there's Annie Jensen way up there by Herman, and she was the oldest. And all of those are in plantings for me
Mhm.
in that county
Mhm.
where we grew up. And then there was the Stanley Truedsons that we
Yeah.
were close to.
Yeah, you saw, yeah.
Chris died, and
Mhm.
let's see, and Uncle Pete had another area down by their old home.
Yeah.
So it's all in one's mind. It's
Yeah.
planted in terms of our family.
What do you remember of your grandfather? You said you had some memories of your grandfather, Niels.
Oh, yes.
Did you call him Niels or Nels?
I just called him Grandpa
Grandpa.
and Grandpa, I think.
Yeah.
Grandpa and Grandma
Mhm.
were real to me. I knew his name was Niels.
Mhm.
Niels, we
Yeah.
called him.
Mhm.
But, yes, I think I remember closest, one of the last times I visited Grandma and Grandpa before my grandmother died. She was on her deathbed, really, and I guess I knew it. And I went to visit them by myself. I walked over from our home over to their home in Blair, and found Grandpa at the door. And I remember he opened the door, and back of him was Grandma lying on her bed in a coma, I think. I remember him coming out and enfolding me in his arms, and I felt these little sobs, and that was all. But it was such a close and feeling time for me, and I think I feel this in relation to Anna and his relationship to her and bringing her to this country. It must have been a similar inner feeling of love and consideration for family and joy at being together.
Yeah, must have
A
been.
willingness to be together. So I have that wonderful memory of
Are you guys warm enough?
grandmother.
You warm enough, Murray?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right.
I have that wonderful memory of my grandmother and grandfather. But in addition to that, with Grandma, I remembered all of the wonderful things she did in the family. I can remember the special bread she made. I can remember the taste of it with these, the essence of the seeds that I've forgotten the name of now. I wish I could think of them. She always, her bread always had and her rolls had this, and that's funny, I can't think of the name of this seed now. What was that?
Was it the little black ones they were on the outside, the little tiny? No, it wasn't the poppy seeds,
Well,
you know.
It was flavoring seed. It'll probably come to me sometime when I'm not with you. It may come to me.
Was it the coffee bread or was it the food bread?
The what?
The coffee bread or the food bread?
Well, it was mostly the coffee bread and the rolls.
Yeah.
Where the seed was so evident. But
Was
it
it
was
a little-
always a part of it.
Was it a little ginger or a little cardamom?
Cardamom is the name of it.
Yeah.
That was what I always found in Grandma's bread.
Yeah.
And I can see her around the cook stove and baking her bread. And it must have been ingrained in me, the loveliness and the beauty of cooking for a family. Feeling, and I got it from my mother, and she got it from her mother, I'm sure.
Right.
And this was all part of the process, and I feel it now in terms of my own daughters. They'll, when I talk about what wonderful cooks they are, they always say, well, look who taught us. And I can always say, but look who taught me. And the process that's gone on has been delightful. So, being a part of family has become more and more important as time goes on. I was just sitting here and talking to Chuck a little when you were out about how it could be possible that I seemed in those early years of my life on the farm to lose track as much as I did of the family in Omaha. When they seemed such an important part of my mother's life and of our life, but somehow in the envelopment of the large Jensen family, we became almost lost in terms of our family in Omaha.
On the other side, yeah.
That time. And now, I feel now, here it is, we are at the point of reinstating the beauty of this family through your coming and
That's nice.
your association now with all of the family.
Well, these branches of the family have been exceptionally interesting to me because of the fact that they were probably the first pioneers in my family that came out here, you know, and that led to the
That's
fact
right.
that my great uncles came, and then my father came, and his cousins came, and so it's very interesting to follow these people. You know,
What do you have on yours?
I don't know. Yeah, I think maybe the one in the bathroom where I was out looking around or something.
Oh.
But Marshall wrote something about that your grandfather had little depressions in the later years of his life, and that I guess he had stayed with your mother or something too for.
He was living with them. This was just after I was married and birth of Betty. She was 2 or 3 when I used to go up on the Ken and I would go up and take Betty, and we'd spend the weekend with them. And he didn't seem himself, and I'm sure it was a case that happens in many adult senior citizens who lose track of the joy of life because they've lost track of some of their own capacity for living inwardly in relation to what's going on. And I'm sure it wouldn't have been easy for him to live in our family, no matter how attentive my mother would try to be. Here was my dad, an energetic, a very energetic person on the farm, and my mother always busy in the kitchen with the family, and here was Grandpa, kind of I suppose, kind of lost in the bigness of one of his own family. I can't answer for that, except that the way he died indicated that he was no longer content with living. And I know my husband said the same thing at one time, shortly before he died. He said, I wonder why we have to keep living when we're so ready to go. And I said, honey, I don't know whether I'm ready for you to go yet. I was holding his hand. And he said, well, of course I wouldn't want to take my own life. But evidently Grandpa got to the point where he just couldn't abide by what was going on that lived him out of life again. I can understand it now.
Well, it's kind of like, it's almost like an old Viking.
Huh?
It's almost like an old Viking thing when you hear about it, because
it might have been.
when they were old, and particularly if they became a little ill, or if they felt left by the wayside, then they jumped off the nearest cliff.
Yeah.
So, and it's been in a few other cultures that I've seen that happens. So I guess it's it's
Well, I know it never
in the sunset. Yeah.
never took away anything from me. Oh yeah, we have a picture. I don't think Grandpa's out in the front though. In the picture. Oh, this is the home in Blair. The one we have is out on the farm.
Yeah.
It's a little like this house.
Yeah.
No, this is their home. This is where I went up, and Grandma was laying back here, and I went up, and there was Grandpa and told me in his arm.
He looks a little lonely there.
Yeah, that's right. But I can see him. It looks like him, even yet.
Well,
Well,
we've got this here. It's a nice one.
oh yes, I've seen that. That's Lena
Yeah.
and Chris.
No, it's Peter.
What?
That's Peter.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. That's a real young version of Peter. That's Chris there. That's how much they changed,
Who is that?
That's Chris. That's,
Chuck, we can't hear.
Okay, I'm about done here.
that's Chris.
Oh,
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah. And that's your mother.
Oh, yeah. Anna and Chris and Lena and
Peter. Peter.
Peter.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Uncle Peter.
Yeah.
Oh,
Before the
yeah,
mustache.
It
Yeah.
does look like it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so like Lena. That looks like Mother too. With her little thin waist.
Yeah, that's before any of them were married or anything. I guess you're probably still going to
She only weighed about 90 5 pounds when she was married.
Yeah.
I have their wedding picture.
Yeah, I borrowed
Oh,
one
you
here
had?
too. Yeah,
Oh,
borrowed one here too because I want to make a negative of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I have one of those. I guess I still have it. Yeah, I have that one
Yeah,
too.
that's a cute one.
Yeah,
And then there's
well, I guess we're.
This is a nice picture of.
Yeah,
You've seen
I
that
have
one?
that
Yeah.
one with Uncle Chris.
Mm-hmm. No, this is one similar one, but it's of Pete. There's one of Chris like that, but this one is of Pete. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is Pete, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Well, this is the one I think, yeah.
Yeah,
I
you got
have
that one. Yeah,
too.
it's good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
somebody had the same pictures I have, evidently. That's leaving.
That's all 4 of them on Pete's 80th birthday.
Oh, it's on Uncle Pete's birthday?
Yeah.
Oh. 1953, well, yeah, that looks very much like them then. It certainly looks like my mother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's nice.
Yeah, what else we have here? It's pertains to this family. This is Frank and Lena's farm.
Oh, yes, that's right. Doesn't show the big old square house, so.
No. That one brought back some memories to your cousin Harry when we looked at that one.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any pictures or anything.
Who?
Harry Sears.
He doesn't,
No.
huh? I ought to share some of them with him, his folks. I wonder if he would like that.
He might, yeah, he might.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I've seen that one
Yeah.
too, but I don't know where. I don't have it anymore.
Cute one.
Well, they've got divided up, but I have the majority of them, I
Mhm,
think, and
mhm.
we'll try to get them together this afternoon and see how to proceed with them.
That's a picture of your great uncle John Ritterstedt.
Oh, is it? That's
That's my great grandfather.
great-grandfather,
Andrew's
yeah.
great grandfather. This
Uh-huh.
and this was found in Kenneth Truedson's, in Lyle Truedson's old album.
Oh, really?
So this was sent over to your grandfather at some time.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
Taken in Karlstad, Sweden, right around where he met his wife.
Oh,
Karlstad.
Well, oh, that's fascinating, isn't it?
And this is your great uncle Anders Sealander,
Uh-huh.
the oldest
Anders
brother,
and
and John.
John
Mhm.
Ritterstedt. Uh-huh.
This is Sealander, and this is Ritterstedt here.
Oh, yeah.
And that was also
I'm beginning
that album,
to
so-
get the connection.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. So this this picture looks so much like one of my uncles over in Sweden. It's just amazing.
Well,
It's gonna be a lot of fun to show it to him.
uh-huh.
Let's
Are
see.
you catching cold?
Yeah, maybe a little. I've been a little bit stuffy, but nothing too serious. I don't think so.
Oh, that's good.
This oh, here's an interesting one too. This one here.
What do you know?
This is your great aunt Anna
Oh,
and her husband Peter Hansen
uh-huh. They're the ones that were on the,
that were lost for so long.
uh-huh. And
That's,
that's Louis.
yeah.
I recognized him.
There's Clara Nickel.
Yeah, I've never seen this picture.
That's Dora,
That's Dora, huh?
or Dory. They called her Dora and
Yeah,
Dory.
always called her Dory.
Dory. And that's Lena Richter.
Oh, yes, now I'm placing her better.
Uh-huh. And there's Minnie.
Yeah.
Minnie ended up at 350 pounds.
350. Something like my little Margaret.
Mhm.
We,
Now, Clara's the only one of the ladies that didn't get big.
oh, did she?
They all got over 300 pounds eventually.
Well.
And there's Maggie, the youngest sister.
Maggie, Aunt Maggie, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's cute, isn't she?
Mm-hmm. Sure is.
Well,
So I've talked to one of her sons that lives in Billingham, Washington,
oh, really?
John Sullivan,
Well,
and Bill Sullivan, 2 sons she had.
I had a couple of friends that lived in Billingham.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my girlfriend and her husband,
Mm-hmm.
but they're both gone now. Well, isn't that fascinating?
Yeah, it's a...
This is the way I remember Louis always,
Uh-huh.
and I always connected him with, I just never thought of him as living up the life of the family very well, but I'm sure that was my own judgment rather than wisdom. I wouldn't be surprised. He looks like he was really living up his life.
Yeah. He died, he wasn't too old when he died. He was, 39? He was 50. Only 51 when he died.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and no children. He had married Anne, something, I don't know her last name yet. No, Alice. Alice was his wife's name. And just kind of edit them and fix them up nice so that, you say what's interesting and take out a lot of me yakking in between.
Well,
but anyway, this was the family we were looking for, and thanks to the fact that you recognized Minnie when she was a lot thinner,
yeah.
I think she's got a good start going on her 350 pounds there already. It looks like it.
Looks like it. It's interesting that that family has evidently gained weight a little bit like Margaret.
Uh-huh.
Like
Margaret, yeah, Jensen,
and one of our granddaughters,
Yeah,
Susan,
yeah.
has done the same,
Mm-hmm.
and just can't seem to get hold
Get,
of it.
no,
Yeah.
no, wow.
Having difficulty with that. She's got so much ability and smarts, we all call it, but there's that one hang-up in terms of her feeling secure in her own right to to progress with her own life as fully and actively as she can, as she has the right to.
Right.
But she has always held back a little this idea of her right to eat.
Yeah, yeah.
And or to limit her
Mm-hmm.
ability to fulfill herself in that direction.
My father had a secretary when we lived in Chicago who was a very big girl.
Oh.
But she had a delightful sense of humor, which I found that many big people do, and she was just, well, my brother and I both remember her very vividly for a lot of laughs and a lot of fun, all the time.
Margaret is a little like that.
Yeah.
And so is Susan, really.
Yeah, we had a lot of great laughs with Margaret the other day, we really did.
Oh.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah.
She's quite a character.
Well, she was anxious to get together with the family. I admired her for that. And I'm glad she was able to be with you at that.
She didn't want to be in the group picture at first, but I just went right over there and dragged her over to where we were sitting in chairs. No, she didn't want to.
Why wouldn't she?
She felt self-conscious about her looks, I guess.
She didn't want to be
No, she wanted to be in it first, but
oh, I see.
she didn't get away with that. I got her in the picture, so.
Well, I'm glad.
We had a good time.
She's been keeping all the things I write to her and have written through the years. When I was, one year I was writing a letter to all of my family and some of my friends back there every month, and it was almost a compulsion with me to do this. And she kept them religiously, and then now she says she's going to write a book, and it's going to be called Annie Myrt Says.
Well, I think that's probably a pretty good idea.
Oh, it's a lot of fun talking about it, but I doubt if it ever happened.
Yeah, it may. You never know. She seems to be the kind that if she really got her, drive going, she could do something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Even to playing cards or whatever she wants to do. It's that way.
These are some pictures that we think This we think is his oldest sister, Johanna. In other words, Niels' oldest sister. We're not sure. We sought to try to identify that one, but we feel that there's pretty much family similarities in his face, and it was taken around the right time and at the right place.
Anders.
That's Anders' wife. She was married twice.
Oh.
First to Lars, and they had a son, Olaf Larsson, and then he took the name Landgren for his family name. So this we think, Trued and Karna themselves were probably never photographed because they died in 1866 and 1869. There were pictures taken that early, but it was very rare.
Yeah.
Now we found this real interesting picture in one. I think
Is
it was
a tin type?
Yeah, in one of Lyle's albums, and this face also looks somehow like it could be a familiar face. So I'm thinking that we're going to keep this one around and see someday we might be able to identify that as maybe being them, but it's very iffy, on these two here. So, but it's an interesting old picture.
Yeah.
This is another one we don't quite know who it is. We think it might have been a brother of Trued or Karna, but I have to find that out when I get back to Sweden on that one. This is Olaf Landgren.
Oh.
That's your mother's oldest cousin, born in 1858.
Well.
And this is he and his family here, his family.
Well, that's quite a...
Some grandchildren of his here.
Uh-huh.
This is Bengta.
Oh.
And your great aunt Bengta there. And my aunt Bengta, the one that married the bishop down in southern Sweden, was named for her.
Oh.
In other words, she was named for her aunt Bengta, and she never knew anything about this woman before.
Well.
And except that her father had an aunt Bengta. So we went down there and we met granddaughter, and they got together and they were able to talk a little bit about her. But Bengta is a contraction of Benedicta.
Oh.
And it's a very common name for girls in the older generations, right in that southern province. Not anywhere else. Not in Denmark. Not anywhere else in Sweden. So my aunt grew up having that name and being kind of ashamed of it up in Dalarna. While she was a kid, she got teased for a lot. But then when she came down to that area, she felt right in her own having that name. So this is your mother's cousin Matilda here, the oldest of the daughters of Bengta.
Oh.
And this is Amanda here. That's Matilda's daughter there. And this is Amanda's daughter and granddaughter.
And my mother evidently never knew any of them.
No, these are...
You suppose Anders would like to go with me for a little ride?
That could be. It could be, yeah.
You suppose he'd be asleep?
Yeah, I don't know where he is. Maybe he went back to bed for a while. This is Axel.
Oh, what do you know?
Yeah, there's a little bit of the white hair there and everything too. These are people that we've never known before in my family, down in that southern branch of the family. This is Augusta, who is the most productive branch in this generation here. A lot of kids and a lot of grandchildren. And so...
Most productive from the standpoint of family.
Family, yeah. I mean, as far as her and her husband having a lot of children, and they had a lot of children, and they had a lot of... I mean, look at all these branches here. It just... I could hardly get them all in.
Yeah.
So...
Well.
And then this is Anna Beck, the youngest of these sisters. That's your mother's Danish cousin. She moved to Copenhagen when she was 14. So she's been there all her life and married a Dane. And I visited his grandson, this little boy's grandson in New York.
Well.
On my way out, had a little dinner with him.
Is that right?
So.
No, it was Hugh's grandson.
In New York, I visited this little boy's grandson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you meant.
Yeah. Who's been living in New York for 11 years. He's Danish.
Well.
And these gentlemen are married.
Are they happy there?
Yeah, he's very happy there. He's got himself a good job in New York. He's doing pretty well there. So. This is Bengta's husband, Per Nilsson. And that's Amanda's husband. Johan Olsen. So there's other relatives in this family. This is Anna Nilsson. I'll show you a better picture of her later. That's a color picture that I took. This is This is Trued's farm here,
Oh, what do you know?
where Trued and Karna lived.
Uh-huh.
I took it from a distance because there's only the old barn left.
Well,
The other buildings are new. But I took,
that's over in Sweden.
this is down in southern Sweden, yeah, in
Oh, yeah.
North
that-
Sandby,
I
yeah.
remember now.
hmm And this is Bengta's place, where
Wow.
she, it was in this parlor, in the parlor of this house, sometime around the turn of the century, that those two pictures were on the wall, the ones I sent you copies of,
Oh, yeah.
with your grandfather and grandmother.
We're in the barn.
And you know who the little one is down there that I thought was Lena that isn't Lena? That's Maggie Sullivan. Maggie.
Oh, it's
yeah,
Aunt Maggie,
yeah,
they always
yeah,
call her.
Aunt Maggie, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, and there's
Well.
a couple other homes in that
Well,
family.
huh. Boy, that's a big old house. And
So this is the Red Cross has that house now in that town. It's still
where's
standing.
the hat?
Yeah.
Right. Huh.
And then this is Elna here, your great aunt Elna.
Well,
And this is her and her family sometime around 1885. And these two pictures I found in an album in Sweden. And these same two pictures were in Cedaredge now. Yeah. You want to mail the cards?
I'm gonna take it down to the big city. Okay. Cedaredge.
well,
He's seen a lot of people, hasn't he?
yeah. And I think of getting caught up at age 90 with all these people that I lost track of.
I'm going to put that on hold for a second. These pictures here were right in an album of Kenneth Truedson's also. These Swedish cousins,
Oh,
the
really?
Swedish great aunt. Yeah.
Is that right?
So they've been sending pictures back and forth sometime there in the 1880s and 1890s. You know,
Yeah.
between Blair and Sweden, several different parts of Sweden.
Uh-huh.
So this is the children in that family: Matilda, Anna, and Lena.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina, they called her Lena. And there's Fritz. That's the son of the family. And he's one of the few ones that... My grandfather didn't have very much touch with any of his cousins, except Fritz and Hannah up here, but other than that, we don't know.
Well,
And there's another picture of Anders
oh yeah.
and him and his wife. And there's Hannah, the daughter. She
Mhm.
looks kind of like a Viking princess or something.
Yeah, she,
She looks very determined.
yeah.
They were supposed to-
determined
They were supposed, yeah.
and very attractive.
Yeah, they're supposed to look like that in the pictures in those days. It was
That's right.
It was considered indecent to
Yeah.
smile in a picture in those days.
I know.
So here's another picture of my great grandfather, then Anders and mine, John,
Yeah.
and his wife, Christina.
Uh-huh.
This is, I think, their engagement picture from 18.
Where's Christina in here?
She's right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then there's my great aunts. Well, I'll start with my great uncle here, John, the junior, that came to the States, and
Oh
that was in Colorado a lot.
well.
And that's his wedding picture from 1899, and look how modern that fellow looks there. You know?
Yeah.
I was amazed by that. you
Well,
know.
she looks pretty nice too.
Yeah,
Looks about like my mother did.
Uh-huh. In those pictures, yeah. It's funny the striking similarities there between the traditional dress and the...
Yeah.
And then there's the...
I used to play house in my mother's wedding dress till it was all worn out.
Oh,
Up in
yeah.
the big room on
Yeah.
our, where they used to have church.
Uh-huh.
That was where I found a book. I found a book up there that I opened up when I was playing house, and there on the front, on the page that I opened, was a picture of a flowing robed individual up in the sky, and it had a name down below, but I wasn't only 5, so I took it down to my mother, and I said, "Mother, what is this?" And she looked at it and she says, "It says God." And that's all she would say. I got scared out and I didn't ask her anymore. And you know, I held that feeling of what is that up in the sky that we're supposed to call God? And I wondered about that for years and years afterwards before I finally came to any reasonable conclusion within myself about my relationship to a being in the universe called God. When I think back over that, it was like a revelation that had to open up to me after I consulted my mother, but didn't find any response. I don't think she wanted to believe that at all, but she didn't want to say it to me. So it got to be quite a problem to her. And that was the end of that.
Well, I've had to come to my own conclusions too in that department, you know.
Yeah. We all
Took me a
had
long time, yeah, to figure it out too.
Well, my grandchildren, Hank, for instance, is one who is struggling very hard with that right now. In his dreams and in his relationship with the girl that he hoped to marry, but she can't accept his views of Christianity, so there's no continuing relationship, and it's a hard thing in our culture to come to grips with that now, I think.
I think so too. I think that,
Well, you certainly collected the...
So then these are the sisters, and Hannah and Maria. That's she had 2 children that came to the States. You know, I think there's a little similarities in her face, particularly in some of the other people I've met.
An awful lot of them came to the States, didn't they?
Some of them did, yeah. And this is Erland, my great uncle, who I knew because he visited us here. He lived in New Jersey, and so his wife and they were married, and then we come to my grandfather Jacob here.
Oh.
And that's Jacob was right in Lyle Truedson's album, a picture about 2 years younger than this, taken at the same studio in Borlänge.
Boy, that's a good-looking picture.
That's my grandfather and grandmother.
Lovely.
And this is my grandfather when he was about 50.
Oh.
Jacob. Your mother's cousin Jacob.
Yeah.
And this is when he was older.
Well.
His wife, and that's my father and Andrew's mother, and the rest of the children.
They're a sophisticated-looking group, aren't they?
There's Jacob and Hilda, and there's Andrew's mother, Margaret, when she was about 20.
That's a beautiful picture.
And there's my uncle, oldest uncle, and his son. He's the head of the whole family, since genealogically it's led to that branch, you know, after my aunt Bengta, the one that I visited down south, and this is my father when he was 22. So, my 3 younger uncles. This is my uncle Lars, the one that had started out the research and gave up when he found a horse trader, you know.
He looks a little like you, doesn't
Yeah, he's a very
He's
nice,
a little-
nice man, and he's done a lot in Sweden. He's dealt with the church architecture, building a lot of new churches.
You
I think I mentioned that. Yeah. So this is him with the old king of Sweden, with Gustav Adolf there. I don't know.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. He's the one that wants to come over here now and meet some of these relatives that we found. So.
Well.
This is my father when he was 50.
Boy, that's a nice
family.
picture, too.
And my brother and myself. We're around 19.
He looks a little like my father does now.
Yeah.
Well, did when he died.
Yeah.
When he was about, I guess the picture, his 50th anniversary picture was when he was about 62, maybe, something like that.
There was a big 50th anniversary picture of Anna and Peter Hansen.
Oh,
with
really?
everybody. All the Truedsons are there too. Clifford and Henry is there with Stanley in his lap. Stan is like 1 year or 1 year old, I guess. This was in 1921 or something.
Well.
And it's just an amazing Edith Davis.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be just about the time Ken and I were married.
Yeah.
Somehow we weren't connected.
weren't there, no.
We were still too connected with the Jensens,
Mhm.
yeah.
And this is the youngest sister, my grandfather's youngest sister, Lydia, there.
Mm-hmm.
This is the house where my grandparents lived in Borlang. Anders was born in this house
Well,
and was torn down in 1949. And this is the house in Batavia where I grew up.
well,
And where I just we visited there for the first time the other day. This is right after we bought it in 1953.
was this out in the country away?
Batavia, Illinois, yeah, 40
Oh.
miles west of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
That's my two aunts' weddings. And but then we come to this bunch here. And there's a little bit of a blow up of your grandfather from that old picture.
Oh, that looks like him.
Yeah,
Who's this?
that's Chris.
Oh,
And a little bit of Peter here. Here's the whole picture there.
mm-hmm.
Chris and Peter and your mother and Lena.
Yeah. Stanley wasn't there yet.
No, he wasn't even
I
talking.
don't, not
Yeah.
Stanley, I mean Henry.
Yeah. And there they are again. These are pictures that Jody John sent me just about right away, so I knew what they looked like. You know.
Yeah, it looks like a picture of them that we have had someplace.
Mm.
Phil
This is
thinks it's back with some of the old things of the family on the farm, but
mhm.
we haven't been able to locate it.
This is a great pioneer picture too. Like
Uh-huh.
this is the matching picture of this one, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of the two families that came out here.
Uh-huh. Chris and Lena and Spike and Pete and Grandpa and Grandpa.
That's your mother.
That looks quite a bit like Mom did in those early years. I
Mhm.
can remember her then.
Your parent, from what I understand, when this picture was taken, she was expecting you. She was right in the
Oh, is
beginning of
that
her
right?
pregnancy in that picture. Yeah, that's what
Well.
somebody said.
Huh. Well, that'd be about
Somebody
right,
said
I
that,
guess.
And that's a little bit of blow-ups of these, you know.
I hope you're warm enough.
I'm fine, yeah, I'm fine. That's a real nice one of Chris, I think.
Yeah, I have that of Chris.
Mhm.
That's a good one of Mom. too.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then this,
That's more recent.
yeah, more recent to Spike. Here's these that are so nice. This
Well,
is
this
supposed
is
to
the
be
one
you.
I have.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's supposed to be you, yeah. Uh-huh.
Grandma and Mom
And your
and her
great-grandmother.
mother.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have that
Mhm.
in my album.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of my cherished pictures.
Mhm.
I've enjoyed it.
Well, we've got negatives of this now, all these pictures now.
Oh, have you?
So anyone, if you know anyone that wants these, just let me know and we'll just get
I
them printed
have
up.
that.
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
that in my
yeah,
album.
yeah.
I never let go of that.
No, don't, you shouldn't. So if anyone wants it, just tell them to contact me and we'll make them a copy instead from the negative, you know, 'cause, and this is another one of these. Now,
Yeah.
this is,
I think I have one of those too, but I don't.
now who is this?
I'm not real sure.
It's got to be, I thought it was you at first, but it's not.
No, this is great grandma. This is
Weepke. Weepke Arp, yeah, your great grandma.
That's
Margaret's mother, right? Same lady is here.
oh yeah, and I've
And
forgotten who.
This
that-
is your grandmother, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that your mother?
No,
It's not.
I don't think so.
See, this is,
It's a different line.
somebody said that this was, yeah, that this was your great-grandmother and your grandmother Margaret, and that was your mother and that was you and that was Betty, but that doesn't seem to jive at
No.
all, no?
These three are not. That's
No.
of a different family.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who they are.
But is this your grandmother, do you think, or is it even that?
Well, I'm just not real sure.
No, I'm not sure of that either.
It looks a little like her, but that I definitely know is, but that doesn't quite jive.
No, so this is not who we thought it was.
That looks like Leslie.
That's
or-
Leslie, yeah.
Mhm.
The little one that, and this is the one you were thinking of, right?
Yeah,
That's such a great picture. I love that picture.
yeah, it's got a lot out here. This looks like.
Isn't that where you grew up? The house where you grew up,
No.
or what?
No, that's great-grandma and grandpa Jensen's home
Is it?
in Blair.
Oh, I thought your parents had lived there too at some time.
Yeah, they did.
Mhm.
After grandma and grandpa died, they lived in that home. Yeah. And across the street this way, Aunt Lena and Uncle Frank lived in their later years. They were right together across the street.
Yeah, we took pictures of that house. No, we were there in Blair.
Did you?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And we took pictures of this house too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't
Is
have
it
this.
still there?
Yeah, it doesn't have this nice porch out front, but it's still there.
No. Hmm.
And then these are the ones that we found that I sent you the copies
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So it's a little bit of love.
One of Maggie, yeah.
Yeah, and this is.
Looks like Maggie.
Minnie.
Minnie.
Yeah. So that's those, and then we got. These are just. This is my mother's side of the family. I just thought I'd show you what she looked like here. She's. This is my mother at age 22.
Oh, isn't that attractive?
This is one of the last pictures of my mother when she was 69.
Well,
She got sick.
she had a
Yeah, we got all dressed up and went to a premiere in Stockholm there. A friend of mine that was opening a big show, so I took her out of the town for one, and then shortly after that she took ill. So. This is her sister and her brothers and sisters. But there's one here. This is the real emigration picture in my family.
Oh, yeah.
This is when I'm 2 years old. My mother
Isn't
and brother.
that nice?
Just way out in the middle of the Atlantic someplace. And she looks
Oh,
like...
your brother was that much older than you?
Yeah.
What was he, about 5 or 6?
He was about 4.5, yeah.
Oh,
He's like
was
2.5
that all?
years older than me, yeah.
Well, he's
Standing up a
pretty
little higher.
tall.
No, he's standing up a little higher, I think, to something. But anyway, so
that's good. Well, you've done a marvelous job on them.
Let's see here. This is your great uncle John Ridderset's grave.
Oh,
And
where is that?
that's at Storatuna Church right close to where Anders lives in that town.
Oh.
This is where my grandparents, Jacob and Hilda, and my parents are buried. So my brother and I own that now. This is the little summer place where I've been staying mostly at up there in Sweden. And it looks like this too here. This is kind of a typical Swedish scene with the log cabin and everything.
Well, that's kind of a country scene in this country.
Yeah, it is.
It used to be.
I noticed a lot of the red and white there on the barns over around Blair and stuff too. And this is Anders and his 2 children in my apartment and up there. So, and here's what I wanted to show you. This is a little bit of close-up of. This is the Trued farm again, where your great-grandfather was, and this is a little 18th century bridge nearby there.
Oh, what a lovely picture.
And this is the barn. This is Trued's barn there. That's your Trued and Karna walked in and out of this little door here in the 1860s. Your great-grandparents.
Well, that isn't where you found those pictures, is it?
No, but it was in another house in an attic. So there's new people that own this, and the barn was the only thing left from the old days. So I just kind of zeroed in on that. I didn't take too many pictures of this, but this is where your grandfather went to school. That's the old schoolhouse there. That's now a home.
What do you know?
In the area.
Huh.
That's
Well, that's an attractive picture.
Yeah. And this is the church where Trued and Karna were buried, and where your grandfather and my great-grandfather went to church with their parents when they were kids.
In that one?
In that one there, yeah.
Well.
So we were trying to find a gravestone, but there wasn't one. This is another very, very lovely 90-year-old lady who's a second cousin of yours that we visited down there, Anna Nilsson. And I'd like to get the 2 of you together sometime just to smile at each other for a while.
Wouldn't that be delightful?
It sure would.
Where is she now?
She's in Vinslöv, which is down in southern Sweden, right near the old homestead. Yeah. And
she's an alert-looking.
Oh, she was the greatest, And this is where Abraham, your great-grandfather, was baptized in 1777 in this manor house here.
Oh, think of that.
Mm-hmm.
1770.
Yeah, and they worked apparently for the people that ran this, lived in this manor house, the family. And so these noble families would participate in their servants' celebrations, whether it was a wedding or a burial. Or whatever. So the young lady of the young mistress of the noble family carried Abraham Okeson up to the altar at the baptism in 1777. This is all right in the church books there.
Goodness, that's a beautiful big building, I must say.
This is my Aunt Bengta, the Bishopess of Lund, meeting her second cousin. These are both second cousins of yours, in other words, down there. And you can see that they're having a good time there. And these two ladies are Anna Nilsson's sisters. She's 88 and she's 84. And they moved over to Denmark years ago. So these are your two Danish second cousins. And after coffee in the evening, all the little Danish ladies have a little cigar.
They belong to Grandpa
Truedson's
family.
Right. Yeah.
Well.
And they all have their little cigar after coffee. Take a couple of puffs off a cigar. It's like a Danish tradition, that all the ladies do that. So. And this is another second cousin of yours. She's up in the town where we were from. She's on this Hannah's branch up here. A very, very nice lady that's been very helpful. So anyway.
Well, my.
Pictures I want to show you. And then I had something interesting here that Stanley, I think. I don't know if you have these or. Here, these. Stanley Truedson's mother had a clipping album, and so I don't know if you have that on your parents or not. Because if not, we could sure make copies of those for you. Easy. And that's another nice article there that we had.
This is the picture we have of Mom and Dad's 50-year anniversary. I have it up on my shelf in the cabinet.
Really nice one. Well, it's been a lot of fun doing this project and tracing all these people and finding so many great people all over the place. It's so many nice people.
I wonder, I was just wondering if you've made any decision on how you're going to disseminate some of this wonderful material you've gathered together. Now, I would think one wonderful way is through the tapes of where you have met with people like you did in Blair, well, all over the country for that matter, and here, where there was just short excerpts that would help people to get back, as I am, a feeling of relatedness and interest and unusual concern, really. Not a bad concern, a good concern of just wanting to be a continuing part of this wonderful family that started us on our way back then.
Right.
It's a marvelous.
Well, it's pretty amazing if you consider this horse trader, Trued Abrehamsson, and his wife Karna down there in southern Sweden, and they're running around their barn there in the 1860s, and then here we are 120 years later, and there's all of us 700 all over the world almost.
Yeah, that's right. No wonder the world is getting full of people.
Right.
When we see this and realize the significance of life as it begins to open up to us on a wider plane of not like my mother said, well, that's God, and then being scared of it, kind of. But where we begin to see this part of us within ourselves opening up to the wonders of life with other people who have had some different experiences but are still just as human and wonderful as all the rest of
Yeah.
us. It's an amazing, when I think of the life you've had in California now, with all the people in Sweden and all over the, well, more places than I can enumerate at this point, certainly. And I think of at 90 bringing my family together just to reminisce a while on my 90th birthday. It was such a lovely opportunity for those of us that could be together, from home, from Omaha, or from family, or looking back in reminiscence at the families that we had way back then when I was 12, and enjoying this true significance of all the family together with my mother and father and grandparents, and the warmth and love of grandparents. My grandfather, as he met me at the door when Grandma was on her deathbed, and a few days later.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, I've seen my duty and I've done it.
Okay, that's good.
Glad to see you, Betsy.
Glad to see you too.
Well, anyway, this has become a truly significant occasion, and I would like to add to it in more ways than I know how I can add to it as time goes on.
Just being here is great, and
I hope, for one thing, I can keep a little closer touch of your address of where you are.
yeah, we'll keep, definitely. And we've kind of made a commitment down there in Blair to see if we can't get together every now and then, some way or another,
Yeah.
And I was telling
Betty, it's cold in here. I think it's getting.
Yeah.
I was telling Chuck and Betty last night that we had this 120th anniversary of Trued's death coming up on May 5th.
Oh.
And we're planning to have a little get-together over there in North Sandby. And if there ever was in Sweden, and see, and just when I get back home, I'm just gonna send this information out to all 450 that are descending, that are living of him, and see if we can't get a group together.
Well,
Do you have
certainly.
Do you have a charter
we
trip?
write
Yeah.
to each other.
That too.
That was one of the things
Yeah,
that was wonderful
certainly.
about my 90th.
Yeah.
I had sent out this card. I don't know that you got one.
No, I don't think so.
I didn't have your address at the time, and I'm writing something now that will include it, but it was how I felt about my 90th birthday and what I hoped would come of it in terms of relating. And it was really quite a wonderful opportunity for quite a time. Then I followed that 6 days later with this operation on my eye, which kind of knocked me for a loop for a while, but I think I'm being restored to some extent from that now. It doesn't seem to be the hardship now that it was at first. But I would like to what do I want to call it? Reinstate, maybe, the process of life that I so enjoyed and was such a part of me way back in my 10th and 12th years. That's the first decade of my life.
Mm-hmm.
In the it's really the 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in 1898, and
Mm-hmm.
before I got to functioning much,
Mm.
I was at least 2, and my dad always said that there was never a time when there was a human being around that Myrtle wasn't going up and saying, hello, hello. And that was always my forte, and probably has continued to be.
I think so.
So
I think there's been a lot of hellos
Yeah.
over the years.
Yeah. Well, I'll get together some of the things that I've written that are a part of what my family have wanted to call Myrtle's Journal, and they always hoped that it'd get to be more of a journal than it had.
Yeah.
But I did get the early decades started, but not the finish. Maybe I don't want to finish it.
We got to get Margaret busy on that, and Mert says too. I think that's a great idea. That's a great idea. So,
Well, I think just writing letters and relating to people who are now so meaningful in terms of life and living in family and all the rest of it.
But if we get a little charter group going over from the States to Sweden,
that's the idea.
then why don't we get you come along, and why don't we run you around in a wheelchair out there to the, and get you in on it a little bit, there's nothing wrong with that. At your age,
No.
you sit down in a wheelchair and we'll run you around there and you can see these places, there's no problem. If you all feel like it or something like that, but don't let the fact that that it's a little hard for you to get around
No.
spoil the fun, when you want to go someplace, we'll roam you there, that's all. You should see Anna Nilsson, your second cousin over there, also just delightful and happy and wonderful like you are, and she gets up and moves around a little bit, but then when she needs to do a little extra cross-country, traveling, they run her around a little bit, there's no problem.
Oh, she's 94?
She's 90, she's at your age,
She's
yeah.
92.
Yeah.
It's her age too, I mean.
Yeah. So,
Well.
she's about 4 months older than you or something.
Uh-huh.
And boy, it'd be great to see the two of you sitting next to each other. I'm telling you, even though you couldn't communicate too much, but just
Well, don't worry. If we could get together, we can communicate. At least I can. I don't have much trouble with that, as you probably noticed. But a lot of people do at this age, I know.
Well, I couldn't think of a nicer translator task than between the two of you. She's she don't see too well, but she's got a good machine that she uses to look at pictures and to read with and stuff like that, which works real good for her.
Oh.
And it was the first time I ever met her too, when we went down there.
Now, which one? Who is she related to now?
She's right here. You're right here. This is you, the first branch on Anna here, on Anna Jensen, right?
Uh-huh.
And she's right here, the first branch on Amanda Olson over here.
Oh, yeah.
So she's the daughter of your mother's cousin, Amanda Olson.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well.
And it's, I don't mean to start any big deals, but I think it'd be an awful lot of fun if we're going to have something. My uncle will probably get involved also. He's very good at these kind of ceremonies, and in commemorating people. My uncle Lars, the one of the ministers, and
he would be.
Yeah, having a commemorative thing or something like that, and if you get a group of people together that want to come from the States, and you do a charter thing, it's not that terribly expensive to come over. There's nice hotels nearby, and it's.
We had some wonderful get-togethers back in Blair and Omaha. The last, it was a year ago in, let's see, I guess it was last March when Dawn was married that we had quite a few get-togethers.
That's what you wrote about that you had such a good time at her wedding, yeah.
And then we had this get-together in Blair at that same restaurant where you had the
Ayler brothers,
Margaret was very instrumental in getting that moving at the time. She did a lot of telephoning, and she said, I never called a person that they didn't say, we'll be there, and they were. So we had I don't remember how many we had at that occasion, and it was but that was all on the Jensen side, pretty much. Well, there was some of the Leslie and Leslie and what?
Was there Elmer's people too? I know.
Well, there was Leslie and the older boy. What was his name now?
Yeah, Elmer.
Elmer, yeah. Elmer and Leslie. There were a couple of people from their family at that. That's the only one. I think outside, but there were some younger second cousins and all that were very close to me because I had been a parent education worker in Omaha, and accidentally several of them just got into my classes in some church or other, and one of them was Karen Hoyer, who came from up by Herman. No, not Herman. Up by, well, it was closer to Fremont. I can't think of the town right now. A little town over there, and her husband came from there. And when she came into my class, I always just started the introduction of getting acquainted, and I introduced myself, and each one was supposed to, and she came to her and she said, well, I think you're my relative. It turned out she was the wife of the son of one of my cousins. And they've become the greatest of friends. They raised 3 children. She'll never forget when she brought that oldest little 2-year-old to my class. And this little one just didn't like the way her mother was always telling her what was what and what she needed to do. And she said, I learned that on our way over one day to the class, she said to me, Mommy, what's that? And she pointed to a shadow up on and her mother said, well, that's a shadow. Oh, she said, a shadow. And she said, at that moment, that little girl told me I didn't have to start explaining all about the shadow, that she was going to find out. And we've had the most delightful time in exploring family life. Little children and big children and all.
That's great.
She's got all 3 of them are married now. One of them lives here, the other 2 live in Australia. Can you imagine? Way over there.
Well, it's like, it was so funny because when we called, when I started talking about Edith Nielsen Todd, about her children, the one daughter, Prillis, was the one daughter's name.
Prillis?
P-R-Y-L-L-I-S. Prillis.
Prillis.
Now Norma Truedson, Kenneth Truedson's wife, Elmer's oldest sons, knew her and said that she thought this was a girl that she was best friends with in grade school.
Really?
So when I called this Prillis Maxwell, and that was her name, in Omaha, who we subsequently met for a while, I put her on the phone with Norma. And it was the first time they talked, I guess, since
they were little kids.
Yeah, and they were like remembering when the mother was mad at the one of them for the stockings were, hit. It was just the funniest thing. And she's just, Norma Truedson, well, all of those folks, just Norma and her husband Kenneth and Lyle and Winifred, of course, is very bad with arthritis. The sister, she's had 14 operations with plastic joints put in and stuff.
Eleanor Jensen has that very bad now too. Did you get any better acquainted with her?
No, I wish I would have had time to talk to her more. She seemed like a very elegant woman and very interesting woman.
She's in the view of an awful lot of people, including her daughter, particularly not so much her son, who is in California. But she is apt to be a little dominant. You might have happened to notice
Yeah,
that.
maybe, yeah.
But she is a warm and loving individual, even though she finds it difficult sometimes to relate on that kind of a basis.
On an equal basis, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She wants to be a little superior and
Yeah.
dominant. But we all have a little of that in us.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. We all have a little bit of egoism is human. So. I guess.
Yeah.
Thing is to try to channel it into where your egoism is tickled by doing good things. You know, that's
right.
That's the.
Well, that's been my life since the 50s. After I had the threat of cancer, I discovered I needed a new approach to my cycle of living that would not include so much of the need to carry responsibility in the community, but simply to fit in and enjoy my own self-fulfillment in this opportunity. And I found a totally new environment in well, it started in a home for adolescent girls, where I became the matron or the mother, the house mother. And for 4 years, Ken and I worked with the girls in this home. There were anywhere up to 16 to 18 of these girls in this big home. And following that, the psychiatrist who was the director of the staff for the family service, which included Pinecrest, became the psychiatrist that I worked for 23 years, from the end of the 50s to 76, when I finally resigned at age 76. And we had a wonderful growth period, I think, of understanding more of the process of life within ourselves, rather than feeling it all out as pressure from outside.
Well, that's important because
Well,
we were just chatting last night about some of the directions that so-called civilized society has taken that has overly complicated the lives of people, and that has young people coming out of childhood learning a lot of the wrong things.
yeah.
Learning a lot how to score points in hypocrisy, and how to score points in all kinds of wrong ways. You know.
I started out as I said. I started out with this staff of the Midwest Clinic, became the Midwest Clinic ultimately, without ever having opened a psychology book much. But I worked for 4 years with the Institute of Psychology and Religion in connection with this group, and then they invited me to be a therapist for the next 15, 20 years, I guess, till I closed off and we moved out here to be with the girls and find new opportunities for living and loving and enjoying life.
Well, it's just we'd have a look here and see if you have any. You talked a little bit about your grandfather there in connection with your grandmother's death, and then his subsequent life in the last years of his life. Anything particular about your Uncle Pete that you remember that you thought was interesting or funny or whatever?
Well, I think mostly with Uncle Pete on the farm, I remember his, it seemed to me, his ease as a farmer on that farm. I don't think I ever thought of him as a rip-roaring success as a farmer, but there was something about his ease of doing it on that farm. It wasn't a farm that, like our farm that was one that had been used to demonstrate the process of farming. But and I saw these two kids when we were there always as just having fun around, and I never found it hard to have fun around too. And I can remember Aunt Kate, who was an exceedingly, I thought, or as I interpret it now, an undominant.
Humble person.
Yeah. She just, I can hear her yet say Myrtie, you know, oh hello Myrtie, or something about that. There was something about the ease and the joy of living that I felt there, and I discovered with Uncle Pete, and I don't know why it seemed to be different.
They seem to have handed that down to Kenneth and Lyle and Winifred, because all three of them seem to be just the same, very easygoing.
Really?
Nice.
Don't.
Really. You should really. It'd be nice for you to meet with them sometime a little more.
I will.
Because they're just such wonderful, all three of them.
I probably will be writing to them all.
That's
Winifred and
Lyle and Ken. Winifred Ogle. She's married to Dean Ogle. Anything that you remember that your grandfather ever said, like an expression of his that he had, or anything like that?
No, I think his expression of warmth at that particular time
that's your main memory of him,
and that was his type of being, and seeing him standing out in the front yard alone, as though he was waiting for something or for somebody, or a part of something that I didn't understand at the time. I guess it was something about his permanence and all, and yet the fact that he found it difficult to sustain his life at the time when suddenly he evidently wasn't equal to going on with his life. This happened to Chris too, you know.
Yeah.
And
but for terribly, in my opinion, for terribly unnecessary reasons.
For what?
For terribly unnecessary reasons in that case.
Right. I knew that. I was old enough to be aware.
This is, as I was saying last night, that the fact that society and hypocrisy and church involvement in things that the church should not be involved in, and the jealousy being like almost an accepted part of love instead of a part of hate, like is what it's supposed to be, that we're taught wrong from the beginning about our relationship, man to woman, friend to friend, that can lead such a beautiful young fella to do something like that. You know, that should be impossible. It should be impossible.
It seemed so
wasted.
So unlike what I thought of Uncle Chris as being. Really. And now when it happened to Grandpa, I don't think I grieved so much. I just seemed to understand. that this is the way at his age he felt. That my mother's life was demanded in many directions, and she was getting to the point where she was being more and more weary. I think I was gone. I'd come home to help on the weekends. Ken and I would oftentimes come up to Blair we didn't have a car at the time. We'd come up on the train and they'd pick us up and we'd spend the weekend on the farm helping with them. And we took many pictures that expressed this, I think. When I see the family out in the front yard with Mom, with Betty on her lap, or Phil, if it happened to be Phil when she was a baby, and just enjoying ourselves. We're seeing Betty out watching the little ducks, and Ken took a picture of her and out by the pump, and things like that. It spoke highly of family, family relationship.
Is there a group picture of your parents and all of your brothers and sisters together? Like when you were young, did they ever take like a group picture in a studio or anything like that?
Well, I have this Institute of Psychology and Religion probably was the institution that brought us together as a foundation for understanding in the end of the 50s. And it became is still operating, in fact, back there, although on a slightly different plane, but many of the same people that I was relating to then as the person who probably was more instrumental in forming this organization than most, is still a continuing idea. The emphasis is changing somewhat, but it's still there, and I still relate to all those people by letter or telephone call.
Did you ever take a photograph together of all of your family, like in your youth, like with your mother and father and all your brothers and sisters and you, like in a studio or something like that? Is there any such picture that exists?
Oh, yeah, we have some family pictures.
Yeah. The whole group.
And I'm not sure that they're available down at the cottage or at the apartment. I think they're up at Phil's, up in Phil's closet where I have stored some of those. But I could get those out.
It'd be nice to make a copy of, make a negative. I'm collecting those, like to get a family picture of each of these branches,
We could have those made easily enough. Phil and Don are Don especially is very adept at this kind of thing.
Yeah?
Photography.
Oh yeah, that's good. That'd be great.
So, let's see, it's something on the order of that.
This, yeah, that's there, that's nice, yeah. With Nelson and... Was she part of the family group too, or did she kind of go her own way, or what?
Well, I think of her in terms of my relationship as somewhat isolated. They built this family life over on their place. Uncle Frank and Aunt Lena, and Harry and Helen, I remember, as being somewhat isolated. Why this seemed to be a part. We went there as part of the family now and then, but I never seemed to know whether it was going to be continuing or not. And ultimately it wasn't done. I don't know why. I feel that Harry made a very fine success of his life, although I never was particularly close to him or his family, unfortunately. the last time that I talked with Stanley Truedson, Spike or Hank's oldest child, that's
Jody's brother. Yeah, we stayed with him that night we were in Omaha. We
Oh,
stayed
did
with-
you?
Yeah.
Well, that was nice.
Mhm.
Did you find his wife friendly and open?
Very, yeah, I found she was, very friendly and very much of a hostess and just taking good care of us and everything. It's
I never got to that point, but when I was there to,
This, of course, his second wife is.
oh, that's right.
Yeah, this is
well,
his
I'm
second
thinking
wife.
of the first one.
Yeah, no, this is Dottie, the second wife. I never knew the first wife. So.
Yeah. Well, what was I going to say? I went to Omaha, and it was a time when Stan was elected the king of Xarban. So I decided, well, I'd never get to talk to Stanley, only on very isolated occasions, maybe if we happened in Herman together or something. And so I decided to call him and congratulate him on being, well, I called and I told the wife, it probably was his second wife, I'm not sure, I said that I'd wonder if Stanley would be available, and it was the morning after the big occasion of being made the king, and she said, well, who is he? That was, I didn't know whether he's up yet. I asked if he was up after his busy night, and she said, well, who is this? And I said, well, this is Myrtle Ross, a cousin of his. Oh, of course he'll want to talk to her. Well, this gave me kind of a thrill. Wow.
She's very nice that way, yeah, she really is very nice.
So
She came to the airport just to wave to us when we left.
well,
Yeah, so she's very sweet.
well, that was nice.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he came to the phone, and we had a perfectly wonderful talk,
Well, that's
just
good.
about being cousins, kind
That's
of.
good.
And that was a really delightful occasion. And out of that, they finally decided no more Kings of Xarban.
Really?
He was kind of the last one. I don't think he was very thrilled. I don't know. I'm saying that out of turn, but I felt that was enough for him.
Yeah.
He'd had enough of that.
Yeah, they were very, I thought they were very nice.
But that was a nice occasion, and I resolved at the time, well, I do want to get together with Marion out in
Greeley, yeah.
Greeley and Jody and Iowa, and I've taken a step or two, but not very fast, very sure, evidently. But I hope we can do.
Well, I think you
a
will.
little more of that.
I don't know Marion, but
Oh, she's a delight.
yeah, she probably is.
Girl, they are all three.
I thought I would give her a call today, maybe too, and just because we're going to be 2.5 hours at the airport there between flights, between the flight from Montrose and then to Los Angeles.
Oh.
So I just thought I'd give her a call.
Where, in Denver?
Yeah, at the airport in Denver. So.
Oh, Marion, are you calling?
Yeah, I thought I would call Mary and just tell her I wrote her and told her that I would be these 2.5 hours at the airport just in case there was anyone of her family around Denver that, today. So
Oh, that'd be
I just
great.
thought I'd give her a call,
Well, there again, we've lost the closeness that we felt back there, and I don't know whether it was so busy because we got so busy with our own business and they got busy with theirs. So we just haven't related on that plane or what. But I want to change it.
No, that's good.
If I can,
That's
but
good.
I'm not.
I think you can.
Well,
I think you can.
some way or other, maybe we can. I'm fairly secure in my little apartment down there now, I think. I was having a hard time pulling away from family as much as I needed to there, but I think I'll find ways of doing it, maybe. with the help of a lot of people who stop once.
Yeah, right.
Like this,
Yeah.
and have an occasion that is.
Now, Henry, anything about him you remember that was particularly interesting?
Who?
Henry Truedson, your
Oh, yeah.
counselor.
Oh.
He's the one that I met when I was 2 years old, and we drove through Herman once, you know.
Oh, I can imagine. Well, I remember lots about Spike, his connection with what was your connection with in the Army? In the war.
I don't remember. It said on his gravestone, but I don't remember now. There were some initials on his gravestone there.
Yeah.
We went to all the graves, and Anders and I went and put a couple of roses on your grandfather's grave also, and then we went and we found Anna's grave right there, back to back.
The what?
Anna's, Hansen's.
Oh, was it?
Right there in Blair, just like back to back in kitty corner with his grave.
Oh, isn't that
So we put a couple of roses there too, yeah.
Well.
But I don't know what it was on his gravestone,
but the time I remember the best was that about Spike. He had come back. He had just returned from his stint in the Navy, I think was what he was in, wasn't it?
Could be, yeah, could be.
And he came back at this occasion. It happened to be he came into town and called us, and he was coming out to the farm where Grandpa Truedson was at the time, and he was going to spend the next 2 days at least with us on the farm. And that happened to be the night that my boyfriend Ken intended was going to stop to pick me up, and he was going to get the answer to his proposal.
No.
That night.
Historic date, yeah.
What?
On that historic date, yes.
No, and then, but the thing was, he came to our home to pick me up, and I had to say, honey, Frank, my Uncle Spike just came home, and he's just home from the Army, and I don't feel like we can go out tonight. Well, he wrote me some letters about how devastating that was, when here he was all prepared. But at least I said, honey, I know what my answer is going to be, and we'll take tomorrow night or the next night. And that was okay with him, but he didn't like it very well. And he said he never got over holding that against Spike for coming home on that particular night. Well, we've had a lot of fun over that, and we did with Spike, of course, too, after that. I don't know if they'd ever remembered. Someday I'll maybe you can tell Marion about it if you see it.
You should. You better get down there and get her up here and tell her about that.
I long ago forgave him for that. Forgave Spike for that. We were glad to see him and glad to have him home. Yeah. Part of our life, but.
Well, I don't think you planned this sabotage.
It didn't stop very much anyway. We got married and lived had our.
As long as it wasn't planned sabotage, it was easy to forgive him, I guess. You know.
We had 62 active ceremonies of 62 wedding anniversaries, so we did pretty well.
Yeah, I think so.
I
think so.
Well, that was.
Let's have a look at these folks here now. You said you remembered something about Lena Richter.
Well, I just remember her about, sort of as a part of that family.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember Minnie and.
Do you remember your great aunt at all, Anna? Remember ever meeting her?
No, I don't remember her, and I don't remember the uncle.
No.
I knew where he was in making the living, kind of, and I knew that Louis was a part. I don't think I've ever seen that picture before, but but they're all kind of familiar. I mean, all the children. Although I think Lena and Aunt Maggie were the two that were, well, and which one was
Minnie.
Yeah, Minnie.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember her, the marriage and her wedding picture and all, but those three I particularly remember, and Louie as a part of the one boy in the family. And
Well, she was the one that had all the children with all the nicknames, Archie and Todd and Toots and Snooks and all
well,
that they were called.
I remember just the general place of that family in the total.
They lived in South Dakota somewhere, in Wood, South Dakota or something like that. And that's where
Yeah, that's right. Now I remember that now, that they were in South Dakota. So that was partly the reason that I didn't see them much or remember much.
Now she apparently was quite a wild woman, Dory.
Yeah. I don't.
She was kind of a black sheep of the family, and apparently.
I remember that, and I don't think I ever got around to holding it against her so much, but I just wasn't very much interested in her because she had some negative things going.
Yeah, she had
the rest of the family.
The husband, and then she had the children with him, and then the husband was committed, and then the children were left a little here, a little there, and then the one boy killed himself eventually too. So it was
I just
tragic.
remember her as Dory, as the wild one kind of.
Wild one, yeah. That's what we said pretty much about her. Finding her descendants is going to be quite difficult because of the.
What?
Finding her descendants is going to be quite difficult because of the unusual circumstances of that family, you know. But here we had.
Well, Betty, how'd you get along?
Fine.
Were there very many people?
Lots of people.
That's good.
Was there?
That's her with her first child when Stowe still had it together a little bit. Stanley Stowe was his name.
Well, she looks pretty righteous there.
Yeah, she does. So far, anyway. This is Clara and Tom Nickel then, when they were, I guess, newlyweds.
I think I've seen that picture. That sure looks like Clara and Tom Bull.
Well, that's another one you should call is Clara's daughter Grace, and then the other one Edith, because
she's the one
Edith, I just had great fun talking with her when we visited.
Did you?
I recorded her a little bit too, Edith.
Oh.
Yeah. And she was telling, she had this picture, and the thing. So anyway.
Well.
Now Minnie had two children.
Which is Clara now?
This is Clara here. Yeah. Minnie had two children. One was a fellow who called Boots, who was killed in the war.
Yeah,
the First World War.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, I think the fact that they were up in South Dakota, I remember them planted up there, and I didn't see them as often. I mean, that particular family.
And she was in California, I guess, eventually. And Maggie.
She was
both of her sons were in California, Northern California, to start with, so.
Well, I don't remember anything about her marriage or her family.
No.
Well, I think we've reestablished a connection.
I think we have. We should. When you wrote to me and said that was Minnie, on that one picture, that really got things rolling, I'm telling you. Because then I called Jody Johns and thought, this is what I have, and if you want to.
She got hold of that.
She pursued it. She got in the library at Omaha to get obituaries. She got after the Douglas County Health Department to get the death dates in the family, and she's got real busy there. And so before I left Sweden, she was able to provide me with some names of some places of people that were living in that branch of the family. So I was able to get in touch with them.
Well, that's fascinating.
Right on the tape, so I know what's on here.
Some years later than that, let's see, it must have been.
Now wait a minute here. Now before you go on here, some years later, what was it that happened when you took your Your grandfather on the Jensen side taught you to dance, you said. Yeah, you and all your cousins.
Wanted me to get
Yeah,
that.
and you enjoyed
Well,
all that.
I think I thought of Grandpa as a pretty dominant person in terms of how people responded to what all needed to be done on the farm and, well, wherever he was. But the one thing I recognized was how much he enjoyed dancing. There were 2 or 3 older people. I remember an old Mr. Jacobson too, who enjoyed teaching the younger kids how to dance. But I remember that my cousins, about my age, all seemed to enjoy it. I don't know whether anybody enjoyed it as much as I did, but I learned to dance and learned to enjoy dancing with all my uncles.
And your husband, Ken, didn't dance too much,
Well, one day I took him, when we started going together to things like that, he went with me to a barn dance out at close to my Uncle Ed's. I remember where it was, and we had a wonderful dancing evening. I tried to keep him busy by going and picking him up when somebody had tap him, and I'd have to go with another person. I'd often go and pick him up again after that in order to try to keep him interested.
Yeah.
On the way home, I said, "Oh, honey, I had a wonderful time. Did you enjoy it?" And he kind of, I don't know just what his emphasis was, but he said, "Well, about as much as a one-legged Indian at a war dance." We never did live that one down, I guess. But you know, it was sometime later, into the 50s, when we decided to take some dancing lessons at, what was the name of that?
Fred Astaire, maybe, or something, or
Arthur Murray.
Arthur Murray, yeah.
So well known.
He learned to enjoy dancing
Yeah.
with the Arthur Murray people.
Oh.
So he wasn't, and dancing around home, he was got pretty adept. But we never did a lot of traveling to dances, and that just wasn't our dish, I guess.
Well, both of my parents loved to dance. My father was, he just loved it, and I guess that's where I got it from, because I was dance crazy when I was, out of school. Yeah. And so I still love to dance, all kinds of
Do you?
dance. Yeah.
Oh, well.
So it's like,
Well,
yeah.
it's a part of the art, I
Yeah, I
guess.
guess.
The art of human body
I
to
guess, yeah.
enjoy something like that.
I have a little trophy that my parents won the waltz contest of the merchandise mart in Chicago in 1953.
my.
Yeah.
Well, that was quite an honor.
And so they had never had their name engraved on that, but then now when I inherited that little piece of history, I had their names put on and everything, so I had that. No.
Well, you think you're catching quite a cold in your eye?
No, I don't think so. There's been one that's been trying to bother me for a few days, but it hasn't really gotten that far. It's just
Oh.
just a little morning stuffiness I've had, but nothing that
Oh,
really I
that's
feel.
good.
It hasn't really put me out of circulation, so
Yeah.
I'm all right with it. It shouldn't be a problem.
Well, those 2 boys must be finding something to do.
They're out there having an adventurous time, Well, I hope I get to see a little of the town too before.
Wonder if they went up on the mesa.
I'm gonna go out and take some pictures, I think, of the ranch here, and
Oh. That could be.
some beautiful
All right.
pictures out here with the.
I can imagine
the
Chuck
barn.
getting someone out without taking them up on the edge of the mesa where they can look down on all this.
Well,
Grand Mesa, is about 39 miles up and down here.
They was explaining about the top of the the top being sheared off, and the top being a lava table. But
yeah, it's a level over there. You go up to one height, and then you go up to another. You get up about 12,000 feet eventually, way back there. And all kinds of trees, aspen, aspen grows, and then there'll be a layer of dark green evergreens. I've been trying to do a satisfying job of painting. One of the pictures Ken took up there on the side of the mesa that just enthralls me, and I'd like to be able to convey it that picture that he took on a frame. I did make one that pleased me fairly well, that I gave to Dawn for her wedding. I just wanted her, since she grew up out here, I wanted her to have my first and only.
She's the one. She had that on the wall there. Yeah. She's the one that showed me. Yeah. I knew that.
Where was that? Where did she have that?
She had that in your apartment there. In Omaha. Yeah.
Oh, in her house?
Yeah, and then I think she had a picture that matched the view. She showed the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I gave her the.
Yeah. She showed that to us. Yeah, she had it on the wall there.
Well.
Yeah. I think it was in her little.
Somebody at least complimented it that lives out here and said, "It looks like Grand Mesa," and I said, "Well, that's good enough for me."
Yeah. That's good. I'm gonna run out.
Well,
I'm gonna run out and take a few pictures while it's